A lady looked out the window of her home one day, was horrified to see her German shepherd shaking the life out of the neighbor's rabbit. They had had trouble with this neighbor, and this was going to make matters worse. She grabbed a broom and ran outside, beat on the dog until he dropped the rabbit, which was now covered with dog spit and extremely dead. She picked the rabbit up on the end of the broom. She brought it into the house. She dumped it into the bathtub. After a moment's thought, she turned on the shower and directed the spray onto its lifeless body until all of the water running from the little rabbit's body was clean. And she tipped him over and cleaned off the other side. She waited until the neighbor went out to get the mail. She hopped over the fence and propped the rabbit up in its cage. She had blown it dry. She had combed it out. This rabbit looked good. About an hour later, she heard the neighbor screaming. She ran outside pretending she didn't know what happened. What happened? She said. What happened? The lady came running to the fence. All of the blood had drained from her face. She said, our rabbit, he died 2 weeks ago and we buried him and he's back. Life was never meant to be lived like some fluffed up rabbit. But oftentimes we walk around without any smile on our face, without any sense of joy in our life. That's why I'm glad you're here. You came at 9 o'clock. Most of you said these words. Why not 7? What happened to the 7 tickets? They sold out. They sold out because you're not okay. They sold out because you're the kind of people who go, I do it tomorrow. You're my kind of people. Because I'm not okay either. In fact, I'm an idiot. I am an absolute idiot. I back out of my garage the other day. No sooner you get backed out and straightened around on the street, and I realize I forgot my day timer. Can't live without my day timer. You know what a day timer is? It's a little book designed so you can plan your life so tightly that the people you love and the God that loves you can't get in. That's what a day timer is. I forgot my day timer. Now I'm freaking out because my whole life revolves around this little book. What am I going to do? If you got a chair, has anybody got a chair? You got a chair? Come here. I backed out. I sometimes put my day timer in the back seat. Just throw it over the thing because I don't want to take it in and destroy my family with it because I'll be thinking about what's going to happen tomorrow. I thought maybe it's in the back seat. I was sitting like this driving my car, unbuckled my seatbelt. I turned around and knelt on the front seat. I began digging in the back seat looking for my day timer. I left my car in gear. Now, my car is moving down the street 5-10 miles an hour. I'm not sure the exact speed because I can't see with that part of my body. I found my day timer. I was so happy. I found my day timer. I can now live. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw stuff moving past the window. Hey, I graduated from college. I drew a conclusion. My car's moving. I turned to step on the brake. I tried to turn around, step on the brake. Did not get there in time. My car hit a light pole less than a block from our house. That's funny for you. You ever had your airbag go off? That's not a pleasant experience, you know. See, when you watch those ads on TV, they make it look like a pleasant experience because they show the ad in slow motion. Have you seen it? Where the thing comes out, you know, like some kind of Salvation marshmallow. Have you seen it? Look at me here. Come to Dada. You have a boo-boo? It's not like that in real life. In real life, it just goes, that's it. You don't see it coming. You don't know what happened. All you know is that your nose hurts worse than it's ever hurt in your life. I couldn't open my eyes for 10 minutes because my glasses were embedded in my head. And then after I open my eyes, I still don't know what happened. Because the airbag goes away. You know, through the tears and stuff, I'm going, how come there's a hanky hanging from my steering wheel? I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I'm going to tell you something. A bad word formed in the back of my head. See, now, some of you laughed, but I saw several people go, bad word? He had a bad word. Yes, I had a... The same people are going, what word? The one you're thinking will work. A bad word formed in the back of my head, began to make its way through the convoluted areas of my brain, working its way toward my lips so that I might start my day with a curse. It didn't get there. I never said the bad word. Not because I'm some kind of special person, but because I have a twisted mind. I get distracted real easy. I got distracted thinking about airbag. The word airbag didn't exist 20 years ago. There was no such word. Had you driven a car home to show your mom, said, Mom, come out, look at my car, I got an airbag in my car. Your mother would have said, that's not kind. A lot of people going, I didn't get that. Because there was no airbag. There was no. In fact, when I was a kid, there was no such word as seatbelt. That word made no sense. I have a seatbelt. Well, get the whole thing, you know. Maybe your pants will stay up if you get to... There was no such word. My mother was the safety device in our car. You remember that? You even stand on the seat, man. Your mother'd save you. If there was an accident, you were safe. I remember that. Why did you do that? I kept you from going through the windshield. Can I go through the windshield next time? During that period of time, no children were ever killed going through the windshield. Thousands were injured by their mothers. That's why I loved riding with my grandma. Because grandma had that... that forerunner to the airbag thing. You get in an accident with grandma, it was cool, man. Thank you, Grandma. It didn't hurt or nothing. Oh, you smell like Noxema for a couple of weeks. I love doing that because all the older people are going, ah! And these guys are going, what's Noxema, man? I'm not okay. I'll tell you something else. Once I found out how much it cost to replace the airbag, the bad word came back. I'm not okay. I might ask for that later. I'm not okay. I'm an idiot. I speak for corporations all across the country. I was speaking for a very large company. They had paid me a large fee. I thought I had to give a large speech. Couldn't make any mistakes. Suddenly realized I forgot my notes. It was a true story. All of these stories are true. Some have been changed slightly just to protect people who are very guilty. I realized I forgot my notes. So I'm going to go back up to my room to get my notes. You know how when you get on an elevator, you turn around right away? I turn around, I press the button. The elevator goes up to my floor and stops on my floor. But instead of the door opening, the elevator makes a sound like the door is opening. You know that little sound? And it makes that little convulsive movement like the door is opening. But it doesn't open. There's a little button on the side called the open door button. It has two little arrows that point outward. I press that button very hard. Every time I touched that button, the doors would make that little convulsion movement like it wanted to open. It would make the little sound like it was going to open, but it did not open. I'm not okay. I kicked the door. I didn't mean to hurt the door. I kicked the door. I just wanted to jar it loose so that I could get to my meeting. When I kicked the door, my finger came off the button. The elevator continued up to the 14th floor, stopped on the 14th floor. When it stopped there, it made a sound like it was going to open. It felt like it was going to open, but it did not open. The bad word came back again. I lost it, friends. I just lost it. I just screamed, "Somebody call a front desk!" I'm kicking the door, pushing on the button. I said, "The elevator's stuck." I pounded on the door. "Somebody call the stupid elevator stuck." A voice behind me said, "No, it ain't." Now, I got on the elevator alone. I want to share something with you. If you get on the elevator alone and a voice speaks to you, every hair on your body will stand at attention. I spun around, to protect myself, only to discover, true story, this was an elevator with doors on both sides. There were 7 people waiting to get on. But none of them wanted to get on because they had just seen me lose it. I'm not okay. And it keeps getting worse and worse. How wonderful it must be for you to be young. How old are you? 17 years old. You're going to lose it all. You know what happens when you get my age? You get worse. I walk into rooms now, make little circles like a dog looking for a place to lay down. Because I can't remember why I came in the stupid room. Does this make sense to you, sir? Look at me when I'm talking to you. Do you ever leave the room and then come back hoping that'll trigger something? My wife bought me a remote control for the TV. It controls everything in the house. TV, toaster, You know why she bought it? It's a labor-saving device. I lost 27 pounds looking for the remote control. Everything goes. Weight. I can't keep weight off my body. A lot of you looking at me. I saw you looking at me and go, "How come you're wearing such a like a really blousy shirt?" To hide that. I don't know what to do. I read the label on a candy bar and gain weight. There's 6 grams of fat. Just go. I have wasted more money analyzing my body. They will analyze your body to see what the fat content is. This sound familiar to anybody? What percentage of your body is fat? This is embarrassing. It's expensive. I got weighed underwater. That's one of the ways they do it, because fat weighs different than muscle. So they put you in a big sling, big swing-like thing, and they take you over a pool, the deep end of the pool. I'm telling the exact truth. They take 75 of your dollars, and then they tell you, now, Mr. Davis, breathe out. God never meant for us to breathe out before we get dunked in water. If you stand at the edge of a pool and you get ready to dive in, what do? Naturally, what do? You breathe in. You breathe in so that you can live. The man said, breathe out, and you breathe out all the way. They put me in the water. They can't get an accurate reading. This is true. They can't get an accurate reading until the chair stops bouncing. Do you know how long it takes? All my air is gone. The chair is 5 feet underwater, still bouncing. It was a long time. I saw Jesus at the end of a tunnel going. Just when I thought I wouldn't live another minute, they yanked the chair out of the water, and the doctor proclaimed, "Yup, you're fat." So I went to another doctor. I wanted a second opinion. The second doctor took little electrode things, and he put them on my fingertips. Shot electricity through my body. You see, fat conducts electricity different than muscle. So if you jerk really a lot, he shot electricity through my body. Gave me his second opinion. The first doctor was right. Went to a third doctor. Third doctor used calipers. Have you ever seen these? It's a measuring thing like this, a pincher thing. It's really embarrassing. They put it right here and they clamp down. I was mortified. He sent the nurse for 2 or 3 more calipers, and I'm done with this. I'm not going to do this anymore. See, there's advantages to getting my age, too, because you don't have to have this done anymore. No more stair steps, no more treadmills, nothing like that. I can tell you the exact fat content of my body. I use my own method. I'll share it with you. Doesn't cost a penny. I'll never spend another cent. Next time you take a shower, when you come out of the shower, don't get dressed. You stand in front of a mirror naked with a stopwatch, and you just go. When stuff stops moving, click that watch. Some of you saying, you making fun of... No, I'm not. I'm saying we're not perfect. We're not okay. Sometimes I see people I think are okay. I have a friend in California. He's got muscles in places I haven't even got places. Have you seen these people? This guy lifts weights. He doesn't have a neck. He has a head. And then he's got 2 huge bumpy things right here. Have you seen these people? He's got huge right here, big, and he can make one of them go at a time. He's got about 9 little loaves of bread down each side. He doesn't have a rear end. I hate those guys. Got real big thighs. He's real big here. They walk around. They walk like this. And if you talk to them, they go. His body was so perfect. He looked good in a Speedo bathing suit. You know what a Speedo is? A little tiny baby. He looked good in that. I put on a Speedo bathing suit. I look like the Michelin tire man. I only wore it to the beach one time and then never again because people, animal lovers, came out of the woods trying to push me into the water. Little kids going, Free Willy, Free Willy. Now, you can't laugh by yourself. You have to laugh with the rest of the people. How many parents in here? Let me see your hands. Parents aren't perfect. Parents aren't perfect. I wrote a book several years ago that became one of the best-selling youth books in the last 20 years, entitled How to Live with Your Parents Without Losing Your Mind. And kids loved the book. So I got letters from parents all over the world saying, write one for us. So I wrote one for parents entitled, How to Live with Your Kids When Your Mind is Already Gone. If you're a parent, your mind's gone. Look at these teenagers going, yep. You caused it. The day you were born, your mother leaned over, or your father leaned over the crib and went, make me proud. You know what you did? Then you barfed on the man. That's why parents say things that don't make sense. Hey! You cut your legs off in that lawnmower. Don't you come running to me. Parent, you see, here's what I'm saying. Someone has defined humor this way. Someone said humor is a gentle way to acknowledge human frailty. I like that definition. It's a way of saying, I'm not okay. In fact, I changed it to say humor is a way of saying, I'm not okay. You're not okay, but that's okay. It's all right. None of us are okay. I love it to see people laugh. You know what I think laughter comes from? People who don't take themselves too seriously. You show me a person who can't laugh, I'll show you a person almost every time who doesn't take, or excuse me. See, I love the guys in the back on the cameras. They're going, what are we going to do? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? You show me a person who can't laugh, and every time I'll forget what I was going to say. You show me a person who can't laugh, and every time I'll show you a person who takes themselves too seriously. You show me a person who takes themselves too seriously, and every time I'll show you a person who doesn't take God seriously enough. I'm not okay. You're not okay. But He's okay, and He loves us just the way we are. He knows we're goofy. You know, we ought to be able to laugh more. That's why Sunday morning is one of the worst mornings on the face of the planet. I believe, I said it one other time, that God is the author of joy. And He's the author of joy because He makes it possible to deal with our not okayness. He's the author of joy. Otherwise, why would Sunday be such a hassle day? How many of you parents found yourself this morning with your hands around the throat of a child that you love very much? And you were saying something like this, you get ready for church and you get ready now. So we can get there on time to learn about the love of Jesus. Come on. What are you guys clapping for? Like parents are the only ones? On the way to church, children turn into demons. Or they play these horrible fighting games. Look at my knuckle. Look, there's something on my knuckle. Look at your knuckle. Get your stupid hairy knuckle away. Now look, I just want you to see what's on the end of my knuckle. No, look at you. Now get your knuckle. I said, look at my knuckle. I said, okay, let me see your knuckle. What was on your knuckle? Your eye. I just spit all over myself. And every father in the world, every dad in the world that sees that going on in the back of the car on the way to church does the same thing. They grab that rearview mirror. And they say the same thing all over the world. You want me to come back there? And every kid in the world's thinking the same thing. Yeah, Dad, you're doing 75 miles an hour. Come on back. You guys ever have your dad try and reach you? He can't come back, but he can reach you. You know exactly how long his arm is. Strike 3. But you don't want to mess with your mom. I remember we'd be driving to church, or my mom, anytime we were in the car alone with my mom, and we'd be in the back seat, we'd start fighting and stuff. Mom, just come on back. You know, the car's going, I'll handle this. You beat them kids. My mom wasn't right. She was goofy. See how quiet it is? People whispering to each other. He said his mom's goofy. Haven't you got it yet? None of us are right. I'm not okay. You're not okay. My mom wasn't okay. Driving down the road one day, when we had cars, this is going to blow you away. We had no air conditioning. We didn't only not have seat belts. We didn't have airbags, but we didn't have air conditioning either. We had a thing on our cars called wings. Raise your hand if you remember the wings. You open the wing, and when you open the wing, the air hits there and comes rushing in. It directs air in at you at 150, 200 miles an hour. The downside of all of this is it also directs anything that's in the air into the car. On this particular morning, now I have to kind of set this up for you by telling you this. Some of you don't know me. Anything that has more than 4 legs, I hate. I can't stand spiders. I can't stand cockroaches. I hate cockroaches. Cockroaches have changed completely. When I was little, you used to open a drawer and the cockroaches go, ah! And they'd out of there. Now they don't do that. Now they're doing you looking at me? What, you gonna step on me? We survived nuclear, man. I mean, you can drop a nuclear bomb on cockroaches, and if you could look and stay there. They got their little lawn chairs out, a glass of iced tea, little thing to get a tan. And here we are going, and they're going, oh, come on. You want to raid? Come on, give me some. My grandmother raised 3,000 children on the 3rd floor of your roach motel. And you're gonna step on me? I went into a bathroom in Florida. There's a big roach crawling across the floor. These are hideous animals. I just hate them. I just freaked out. I went, ah! Kill it! I looked down and the roach is going. I'll be back. I hate these things. So we're driving to church. A bee hits this thing, gets caught in my sweater, and I freak out again. Now, I'm not exaggerating. I go way out, right behind the comet and everything. The bee is caught in my sweater, and I freaked. A bee! My mother! A bee! Get him off! And my mother, so sympathetic, goes, shut up. I said, there's a bee. She goes, shut up. If you don't bother the bee, you know the rest. It won't bother you. And I'm freaking out because I don't know what bothers the bee. What if the bee don't want to go to church? And I figure any bee that just hit a piece of glass doing 60 miles an hour is bothered already. Right now, I'm catching my breath. Athletes could do this real good. I'm not an athlete. I have the coordination of a carp. You know what a carp is? It's a fish with lips. That's not a fun thought. You fall into a pool of carp, you get hickied to death. My wife's not all right. She's not okay. See how quiet it is? People going, he's on his wife now. That's right. Have you got it yet? How many people are okay? None. One of the reasons we've been married for 28 years in that vicinity is because she knows I'm not okay. I know she's not okay. We laugh with each other. When we first got married, I found an M80. Do you know what an M80 is? You wouldn't know. It's a firecracker. They're illegal now. You can't even buy them. The equivalent of a quarter of a stick of dynamite. Put the M80 underneath a pail. We'd put a 5-gallon pail over it. Put bricks and stuff on the top. Hide behind a tree. First we'd light it, because otherwise you'd be there forever. These 9 o'clock shows are a winner, let me tell you. You light the M80 and hide behind a tree. It would explode, and I would look at the tree, and there are slivers of metal from the pail sticking in the tree. And we're going, we're alive. Well, one day I'm thinking, I wonder how far a M80 would shoot a screwdriver. I don't know why the thought came to my mind. So I took apart one of my wife's lamp posts. It was a lamp post, and I took it apart, and I shoved a M80 up in there, and then I put clay in there, and I let the fuse hang out over the edge. You'd like get arrested for this today, or put away. It's just a thought. And then I put the screwdriver down in there, and I lit the M80 and held on to the pipe. No, I know that wasn't smart. I was in the basement to our home. The M80 shot a screwdriver right up to the hilt through a 1-inch board. Now, my wife, Diane, was really upset because the 1-inch board was the floorboards to the kitchen. I ran upstairs, and the screwdriver was sticking up in the kitchen. It was still vibrating, going. Oh, she was ticked. She said, what if the dog had been sitting there? I said, he'd have moved. But she's not okay either. I love her for it. She's goofy. We went on a vacation. She defrosted the refrigerator. All the while we're on a vacation, 2 weeks. Left the coolant off. There was no coolant in there. But on the day before we left, she put a carton of milk in there. She was going to take it out, but she forgot. She left a carton of milk in the refrigerator for 2 weeks. Do you know what happens to a carton of milk after 2 weeks? We came home. She opened the door to the refrigerator. A wall of stink you could see came out. I'm serious. We got 2 dogs. One of them just fell on his side, his little leg kicking out like that. This milk carton was so bad that green, icky moss had grown out of the lip all the way down the carton and spread across the grate in the refrigerator. And my wife was also a college-educated woman. She is intelligent. She is bright. Grabbed that carton of milk and said, "Ken, come here. Smell this." I'm serious. She said, "I think it's spoiled." I said, "Sweetheart, the dog is dead." Just the other night. How many married people in here? Let me see your hands if you're married. Look, all over the audience, married people. Yeah, look around. Someday you're going to be like this. This has happened to a lot of married couples. I bet you it's happened to a lot of the people who raise their hands. I'm sound asleep. It must be midnight, 1 o'clock. I am awakened out of a sound sleep to hear this sound, the sound of my dear, sweet wife's voice. Listen. That will wake you up. My eyeballs are bugging out. I'm waiting for the axe to fall. I'm waiting for the gun to go off. I turned to her and I tried to inquire. What? She went, "Shh." It's in the garage. She's grabbing a hold of my arm, shutting all the blood off tomorrow. I tried to inquire. I said, "What?" She went, "Shh." What if he's escaped from somewhere? I tried to inquire. I said, "What?" She went, "What if he's got a chainsaw? What if he's a Democrat?" You know, just... I love doing that. She never said that. But I love doing that because I can spot every Democrat in the audience. She said, what if he has a chainsaw? And then with a violent little shove, this is the truth, she went, "Go see." Excuse me, love of my life. Let me see if I have this straight. I know. You think someone's in the garage? Yes, he's in the garage. Okay. You think he has escaped from somewhere? Yes, he has escaped. What if he has escaped? Okay. You are fairly certain that he has a chainsaw. Yes, he has a chainsaw. And you want me to confront him in my Fruit of the Looms. Have I got this right? How effective can I possibly be? Hey, hey! You with a chainsaw! Get out of here! Snap. I told that story in front of 11,000 people. And I came down and sat next to her, and this is why I love her. She's got a great sense of humor, too. She turned to me and she said, you know, I was just thinking, I've seen your underwear. I think you could hold off a guy in a chainsaw. I'm not okay. You're not okay. But that's okay. You know, years ago, I used to do a lot of work in nightclubs doing stand-up comedy. I had some friends tell me that the people, when I was a little kid, they said the people who go to those places are not nice people. How untrue. Moms and dads and college students, all looking for a little joy. Maybe one of the reasons that I'm not there anymore is because I discovered that it's easy to go and laugh for an hour or laugh for an hour and a half and still go away without what you need. I'm not okay. Now, if we were to leave it there wouldn't be much joy. You're not okay. That makes the message even worse. I'm not okay, and you're not okay. And that's true, by the way. None of you are okay, too. I run into people all over the world. The evidence is there. It's right before us. How many of you from Michigan? Any of you? I love people from Michigan. I do more work in Michigan, I think, than any other state. And I have grown to love you people so much, and you are so goofy. Michigan people, only people on the face of the earth who carry a map of their state with them. You ask this lady, where do you live? She'll do what every other Michigan person does. Okay. This is Michigan. Am I right? Yeah. And here's Detroit. And we live right about here by the thumb in Detroit. That's goofy. You don't see other people doing it. You don't see people from Kansas going, okay. Here's Wichita. People from California don't go, okay. Here's San Diego and here's Fresno. We live about halfway. People from Arkansas, okay. Okay. Hawaiian Islands, okay. Multi-million-dollar company flew on their airlines. In front of every seat in the pocket is a little card like this. This card is designed to tell you whether you're capable of sitting in an exit row or not. Have you ever read the card? Who wrote this card? I'm going to read it to you word for word, just the first line. I haven't read it yet. If you are sitting in an exit row and you cannot read this card, okay, some of you need to share that. I still see people going, well, what? If you can't read the card, you can't read that you can't read the card. You're never going to see somebody go, oh, excuse me. I collect barf bags from all over the world. I've got several thousand of them now. I trade with people. It's hard to find people to trade with, the barf bag thing. But a man sent me one the other day. I had to show you. You think we're okay? Then why would they have a barf bag like this? What is this for? Look, Martha, looks like he had asparagus. I'm not okay. You're not okay. So what's our response to that? Is it possible then to go through life maybe having the kind of response we've had tonight? Instead of having our head in the ground and mourning all of this, is there a truth maybe that will even make us attractive? I'm tired of seeing people who claim to have the truth, who claim to know the reason for joy. God himself walk around going, I've been a Christian for 25 years. And it's been great. I always want to say, like a friend of mine used to say, well, tell your faith. And then we're saying to the young kids, you need to be a Christian too. No wonder they're going, we can hardly wait. Think of how attractive. I wonder if we would even need Comedy Central, if we would even need these other things, if we demonstrated the joy that's available in our lives. People are attracted to that. That's why dogs, like, are a person's best friend. Why is a dog a person's best friend? Because they're happy. You can be mean to a dog and happy. Do you have a dog? Oh, you have a wife? Oh, I don't even want to hear. Do you have a dog? Dogs are great, man. Next time you come home, see, it doesn't matter if you're gone 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 days. When you come home, that dog is so excited. Next time you come home, don't open the door. Just stand outside the door. Listen to the dog be excited about you. And when you open the door, he explodes. Come and see what I've done. This is why I'm pretty sure cats aren't Christians. See, now I can look out and see all the cat owners in the audience. I lost all of you. In fact, I got a letter. I got a letter from a lady once going, my cat is a Christian. Cats don't love you. No, they don't. They tease you. They tease you. I haven't even met your cat, but I can describe your cat perfectly. I don't care what color it is. When you come in, he'll walk around back and forth, rubbing up against you, pretending, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. You reach for that cat, you get a little bit of cat. I couldn't even touch my cat. See, my dog's different. My dog leans against me. I pet him, just pet him, and he goes into another world. His eyes roll back in his head, and he leans. I can feel him just leaning against me, just soaking up the love. Sometimes I play with his mind. Stop petting him. His eyes come open. He'll come up to me and take his nose, and he will push his nose up under my hand, and then he walk through the pet. And if I don't move, he'll come back again, and he'd do the same thing. I wanted to give my cat a chance, but he'd never let me touch him. He's always gone, and I found out he's afraid of the vacuum cleaner. No, I didn't hurt him. but he's real clean. So one day I caught him and I started to pet him. You pet a cat, you get halfway back, his rear goes way up. I threw him down on the floor. That's not a Christian thing. What truth could possibly give us that kind of joy? The freedom to spread it to other people. This truth won't do it. I'm not okay. You can add this truth to it. You're not okay. And then you got two not okays. You can kid yourself. You can kid yourself into thinking it's okay. I'm not okay. You're not okay. But that's okay. Why? Why? Because he loves us anyway. You see, I really wish that I could trick you into thinking that the only indiscretion in this man's life was a bad word said in an elevator or after an airbag went off in my car. I wish I could make you think that the only thing wrong with my life that isn't okay was the fact that I do stupid little things. But that isn't the truth. I would be horribly embarrassed, probably, as most of us would, if tonight we were to just start a video and you could see all of my life. When I go to bed at night, I know I'm not okay. But what allows me to be here with you and laugh with you is I also know that you're not okay. And what allows me to throw back my head in complete peace and laugh because I know that he loved me anyway. It's not just mistakes. Plain old sin has destroyed my life. But I have a God, a creator of the universe, who knew that. And he doesn't sit up there waiting to destroy me, but he saw exactly my video, and he chose to send the best that he had, his only son. Why would you end a program with such laughter on such a note? Because I believe that joy that lasts, deep down joy, only can come when we understand the truth. I'm not okay. You're not okay. But that's okay because he loved us anyway. When you know that, you can throw back your head and laugh. God bless you. Good night.